I should have known just to hit record as
Just
soon
hit
as I
record.
saw that you were in the waiting room.
You just hit record. I don't play around. You got that Edmonton tan. Thank you. I I love that you've stayed there this long. It gives you an idea that human beings will stay with the community no matter what. At least you can walk the mall. That's a lovely walk, isn't it?
It sure is. It's delightful, and, people are so friendly.
Edmonton.
They
It's a place you can get punched in the face, but people are really nice too.
Yeah, they apologize after they do it.
That's right.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, a lot of drugs, a lot of drugs. Not that I partake, but I have seen.
What what is this a lot of drugs thing? Like, Theo Vaughn was on his Instagram talking about a lot of drugs in Edmonton
Yeah,
too, and, like, I
it's
there's
the oil workers. They make a lot of money and they come to town and they shake it up. Okay. Now I'm sorry that you're a square and you don't know about these things, but if you were in my cool circles, if you were in the Vaughn slash Callen circles, you'd know.
Are you pals with Theo Vaughn at all?
Yeah, I've known
Yeah.
Theo. I've known Theo for 20 years, literally.
I think it's coming it must be close to that for me too, since I first had him on the show,
Probably, yeah.
and now he won't answer my texts
No, now he's
or
too famous. Now
yeah.
he's too famous. I never take it personally, when even my dear friend Joe Rogan or anybody who's super famous doesn't, because things they get 60 texts an hour, and after a while, you just get crazy. You're just like, "I can't respond. I won't have a life." Everybody wants a piece. So, I make it a habit never to reach out until they reach out.
You don't you don't reach out until they come after you first.
No, because I don't wanna be that friend who's although a funny story about that, like, I don't wanna be the friend that is part of that mix. If they wanna talk to me, then they know where to find me, right? And then, uh, but I did that to a very famous friend of mine who finally had to send me a video because he was like, "Hey, dude, like, I've been trying to get in touch with you for 4 years because I kept thinking it was just some troll, but it was actually the person." And then he sent me a video, and I even then sent the video to my nephew and said, "Is this AI?" My nephew was like, "No, it's not AI. It's that famous fucking person who wants to." And he hadn't changed. I was the one who changed. So
Who was the guy? You don't wanna say?
Bradley Cooper. Yeah, and he's such a great guy. He's still the same guy. And I'm like, no, this isn't Bradley. He's like, "Hey, dude, I had to get your number from Rogan." I call Rogan. I go, "Did Bradley ask for my number?" He's like, "Yeah, he did." I'm like, Jesus. It was, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed.
Did you know Bradley Cooper before The Hangover?
Yeah. Yeah. I've known all those guys way before. Bradley Cooper and Zach Galifianakis and Will Arnett and everybody, you know.
Yeah, like, I listen to the Smartless podcast from time to time,
Yeah, I've known
and
Sean. I've known Sean forever. I love Sean. I've known Jason for 20 years since Arrested Development.
that well, speaking of all the drugs and everything like that, there's a guy, Bateman, huh?
I don't think he did drugs.
No, back in the day, they make reference to it all the
Do
time.
they?
I don't
Really?
know if I don't know if they're just, giving each other the gears or what the deal is, but there's always reference to a little nose candy or cocaine or
I
whatever.
don't know. Maybe a little nose candy here and there, but I don't think. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, just got my stash from Jason.
Two guys that were clearly born in the '60s. Nose candy. It's the
Nose candy.
nose candy.
Devil's dandruff.
Uh,
How long you had this podcast?
14 months?
That's great.
Yeah.
At least you have one.
So, well, people have been bugging me for 10 years 11 years to do a podcast, so I finally
Yep.
figured I may as well step off the curb. Now I think I've got 5 of them.
When am I coming to Edmonton? I don't even know.
You are going to be here. Okay, you wanna start the show?
I thought we already started it.
Okay, well, we'll start the show now. Okay. Here's my big rock and roll intro for the big
Oh,
famous
good.
comic coming to town. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Should I take my shirt off for this or
If you need to. Comb your hair different or whatever you wanna do.
Terry? I'm fine.
He is going to be returning to Edmonton for 5 shows at the Comic Strip. The tickets are available at thecomicstrip.ca. Can you also get them on your website?
Hell yeah, you can.
Okay,
Thanks.
briancallen.com. He will be here January 15th, 16th, and 17th at the
Wow.
Comic Strip. Bryan Callen is my guest today.
Reluctantly.
This podcast reluctantly sponsored by ThompsonMortgages.com. It costs you nothing to make a phone call to see if you can get a better rate, a better term, and better service for your mortgage. Also, Concept.com. Concept Clothing and Culture. CONXEPPT.com. Look your best.
Reluctantly.
I'm coming in January, dude. I'm going to freeze my butt off.
I know. Well,
So now, what's there to do? Oh, I know. I'll stroll the mall. I'll go look at stuff I don't need, like sneakers, and try them on.
well,
And then overeat.
it sounds to me like you need to talk to your agent. Why is your agent booking you in Edmonton in January?
I don't know. Isn't that a good time though? Don't people come out more?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
It's better to come in the winter than it is in the summer in Edmonton.
yeah, I'm going to Appleton, Wisconsin as well. So I'll stay inside. I'm not going to go outside.
You're just bragging. Appleton, come on.
Woohoo! You know what they say about Appleton? Let's go, baby. We're close to Milwaukee. Let's rock and roll. Milwaukee's only an hour and a half away. Yeah. Appleton.
Home of the famous rum.
Yeah, bro. Not even, but we have the same name as that rum.
Appleton's rum is made in Jamaica.
There's some parts of the world where you're like, where are you from? Appleton, Wisconsin. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, it's not like Miami, but my dad's from Milwaukee, so.
Your dad's from Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Hey, I read that you were born in the Philippines.
I was.
Is
I
that
grew up all over the world till I was 14, Terry. That's why I have such an edge.
Was that your dad was an investment banker or something like that?
He was an investment banker. Maybe he did other stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't doubt it.
You wake up free every morning? Keep doing that. He'll do what he does. How's that sound?
Does he still have any offshore accounts?
Look, man, I'm very well taken care of, but I will change my name and I'll get plastic surgery. Now he doesn't have any of that. He's just retired in Utah. Still working on his golf swing at 85.
And you did live all over the place. So you're Filipino.
I was born in the Philippines. I lived in Calcutta and Bombay, now Mumbai of India. Then we moved to Lebanon. Then we moved to Pakistan. Then we moved back to Lebanon. Then we moved to Greece. Then we moved to Saudi Arabia. Then I went to boarding school in Massachusetts. Then I went to college in Washington, D.C. Then I moved to New York and worked as a banker. Came to my senses, became an actor, was an actor in New York. And then I moved to L.A. and then back to New York and then L.A. again, back to New York and L.A. again. And now I live in Texas. I'm a nomad, okay?
All right. Well, that wraps up the podcast. Thanks very much.
Well, that's about all we have for Bryan Callen. Now that we have,
just close all the windows I have on all of the stuff that I have. I was going to ask you, you moved back. You moved to Texas. Why Texas?
Well, I shot my special, False Gods, on YouTube.
Yes, saw that.
I shot that on at the mothership, and Rogan said to me in the green room, he said, you should move to Austin because it's just where the energy is. And I was so tired of traveling. Like when you travel from LA everywhere, it takes forever. Texas is more in the middle of everything and it's cheaper. And, you know, it's great here. And I know so many people. So in a way, it was like the entire Comedy Store moved to Texas. And now I'm at the mothership. And I've got 2 little kids, you know, and so might be easier to raise them here than in Manhattan Beach, where you need $9 million for a house. You know,
but didn't you already have a house? I seem to recall you inviting me down to your house.
I sold that in Venice, but I had a house I was renting, which was big enough to have you come stay, even with your long legs.
You would have moved the front seat up a
Darling,
bit.
Terry has very long legs. Darling, Terry has long Canadian legs. We'll have to get the special bed. That's what I talked to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the mothership, is that Joe Rogan's comedy club?
That's his club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Yeah.
just learning all of this stuff. I was unaware. So all the people who used to hang out at the Improv and stuff on Melrose, they're all
Mostly the Comedy Store. So many of the comics from LA moved to Austin during COVID, and a little bit after. COVID created a real diaspora. A lot of people left. Now, here's the thing. Yes, LA is expensive. Yeah, it's got issues, but it's also got great weather and mountains and beaches, and you get what you pay for. So, it's like there's nowhere on the planet with that kind of weather. People can complain as much as they want, but LA is a hell of a city and a big city with literally everything you could ask for. So you fight, I'm surprised that I miss it as much as I do, but I do. But I also spent 30 years there, so.
yeah. How close or what proximity were the fires to you or any of your
I
pals?
was down in Manhattan Beach, so they weren't close to me, but I had so many friends who lost houses. So many. And it pissed me off. That was another reason I left. I kind of turned my back on the ruling class there, because I don't have a forensic analysis of what happened in that city. I don't know what it's like to run a city like that. People like to come down on Gavin Newsom, which I suppose they should, but there's a limit to what the governor can do of any state like that when you've got city councils that are anti-growth, that are essentially communist, when you have the Sierra Club and other environmental groups that are so powerful, they won't let the electric company or the HOA clear any brush whatsoever, even though State Farm cancels everybody's insurance because they're like, hey guys, this is a major firestorm hazard. This is a tinderbox. We are not insuring you. And the Sierra Club's like, we have indigenous plants here, and so you have to wait a court order. Everything gets adjudicated, so nothing happens. So, a lot of, I don't know, but I know that the environmental groups, God bless them, have a lot to do with what happened there. And I don't think they're too unhappy about it. If a lot of rich people lose their house, but then there was Gardena, which lost everything too. I think it was
Yeah.
Gardena,
That Gardena was up on the other side of the hill there.
Yeah. Yeah, these are people that have been like working people of color, by the way, a lot of them, which shouldn't matter, but they're Americans who work for a living. These are middle-class people who've been there for generations, and everything's gone, including the schools. Like, it was bad, man. I drove down Malibu. I wasn't supposed to, but I knew some cops, and I drove down the PCH from Malibu all the way to Santa Monica, dude. And I didn't wreck. Everything was gone. Everything. All those beautiful houses, all those restaurants, all those mainstays, they were all gone. It was crazy, man. It was crazy to see what fire does. And they were always saying it was going to happen, but this was devastation on a level I couldn't believe, really.
Now, well, I guess for lack of a better term, is everybody trying to sell their land on fire sales sort of thing, or
Not
is
really,
there a
because
lot
the city government and state, and I think the federal government came in and bailed a lot of people, helped a lot of people with it. So I don't know. I haven't followed too much of it, but
because that was the thing when the fires were happening, and I remember I talked to J. Chris Newberg, who's a comic and writer and stuff, because he got evacuated and then got able to go back home, him and his fiance or wife, and then they got evacuated again and then got to go back home. But then after it was done and it was no longer the sexy news story, then we never heard anything about it. So I was trying to look for information on it, and then I was seeing all kinds of stuff. I didn't know if it's bullshit or if it was real. And then I heard that the people were going in and trying to lowball everybody who owned the land and trying to scam people and whatnot and trying to rip
No,
people.
you hear a lot of that. That wasn't so much the issue. The issue was that when that area burns like that, like the Palisades, I almost bought a house there about 10 years ago, but when the Palisade burns like that and all that material, cars and everything burns, the ground and the trees is too toxic to build on. So you got to go down 2 feet at least, maybe 3, and take up all that dirt and soil. It's not environmentally safe. You can't raise kids on that. So they got to clear out all of that insanity. right? Then you got to start from scratch. Now, look, human beings adjust and you figure it out. All that stuff that they didn't want to clear got burned down anyway. Thank you, environmental groups. Like all those plants you were trying to save, they didn't make it, did they? They all died. So thanks a lot for the indigenous work you've done. So, but overall, there's an antiquated Los Angeles and the infrastructure in my country is like, you'll see power lines from the 40s. And I'm not kidding. From the 40s and 50s, that infrastructure is still around. We still have power lines. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, I will say as I get older, I don't know where I am on the political spectrum, but like homelessness. You have so many people in LA who are clearly like just not, they're not mentally well, and they're just roaming the streets. I don't know what you do about that, but we solved a lot of problems. We came up with something called AI. I think we could probably, if we had a little effort, a little passion, a little compassion, we could probably solve that homeless problem. Something, we could do something. So all these problems, you look around in LA and it's like, dude, what is going on here? Like, why are we not able to solve these problems?
Same sort of problems happen up here. I mean, you got different level, different. It's a different population and obviously different climate and stuff like that. But
yeah,
here we've got government that has empty buildings. For some reason, they don't see the need to make those into, and then we've got a federal government that loves to
but at least they can be out in the winter. At least they can be outside in January.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, not here though. But that's why we need to take some of the government buildings and turn them into shelters and stuff.
Yeah,
but we're too busy sending money overseas to other people and whatnot. But
what a surprise!
Yeah,
I don't know.
With your geological survey knowledge of the ground and being able to build on fire-affected soil, did you get that degree in Jakarta or like what?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I'm full of so much useless information, dude. Like people laugh at me. It's just like I'll hear something and I'll remember it and then just parrot it. So, there's plenty of stuff that I read or I hear about. It's not like I'm smart. I just remember shit. So
how's things been going since the special?
I don't know. It kind of came and went. It's just another, show out there as if we have a shortage of entertainment and comedy or shows. It's like, it's almost like nothing you do. I would have to have sex with 1,000 men in a day, and have big breasts to actually trend for an hour. Now, like we live in a time where like our attention span, you can do anything and nothing. Like we just forget about it. We forget about it. Like to the point where I think the government can get away with anything because we'll be outraged for like 5 minutes and then we're off to the next thing. Like, did the Trump administration commit a war crime when they bombed that boat in Venezuela? And then these two dudes were on a raft, basically, a piece of the boat the size of a dinner table, waving. And we're like, we'll kill them. And then it's like, Trump is like to the reporter, he goes, have you not moved on from this? It's like, I understand. It's like, I guess we'll just move on. Like, there's so much information that you just like, nobody has the staying power anymore. There's a problem with that. I haven't really thought about it too much, but the fact that nothing trends for more than 5 seconds is very strange. When David Blaine levitated, we talked about it for 10 years. He's that guy who levitates. If he did that today, that would trend for exactly 1 minute.
I never thought of it that way. What about AI? Are you using AI a lot for anything? What are you using it for?
Now I have to call people and go, is this you or AI?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were talking about that with Bradley Cooper earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you can do anything with AI now.
Are you using it on a daily basis for regular stuff or for like anything, or are you just using it?
I use it for information. I'll use it. I had an argument about whether Patrick Mahomes was great or good. I believe he's great. And my friend who's wrong said he's just good. And so I did an analysis with ChatGPT looking at every statistic that one takes into account when talking about who the best quarterback is. So yeah, I use it for stuff like that. Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
your new Google.
It's my new, I don't even Google what? Goo who? Goo who? Whatever.
Uh,
Fuck Google. Kiss my ass.
because there was a lot of people that you talk about the arts. You're in the arts. You're doing stand-up comedy. There was a lot of talk about, when AI started replicating George Carlin stuff and everything like that. Now, I mean, AI's had a #1 song on the fucking country music charts. I mean, what is? I don't know whether it's good or evil. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, I had thoughts on that, which would be, yeah, man, like you see these remakes like of certain songs and they're so good and it's not a singer, it's AI, right? And then you'll see probably movies like this. Now, the thing about it is that there's something about when we know. I played my daughter 2 songs without telling her what they were. She loved it.
How old's your daughter?
17. And then I told her it was AI. And she got really pissed off that she had been duped by a machine, right? Now, this might be just what happens whenever a new technology comes along. But I don't find it hard to foresee a future where all of your entertainment needs are met with if entertainment is for you something like trying to get metaphor and meaning out of story, right? Humor and all that. What we're looking for, not just the dopamine hit, but also an understanding. Like a great movie, like a great story is really the character gives up what he wants for what he needs, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So, but I'm not so sure AI can do that. And if AI can do that, I don't know if human beings resonate with that, but they might, because AI then becomes a wise god with information, story, and mythology that we identify with. I don't think you care about how much computing power was used in Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is not real characters. It's voiced by real characters, but I don't know who they are sometimes, but the story's fantastic.
But you know what? There's a difference between AI and CGI, computer-generated information or graphics or whatever.
For now, but there won't be.
Yeah.
There won't be at all. AI will do all of that. It'll do all of it. And so is it a tool? Yes. Will you need human origination? For now. But I can certainly see, AI using pattern recognition and cross-patterning and things like that to create original work. Maybe the most original work we've ever seen. Maybe it writes the greatest movie and it hits all the points. I don't know. I don't see that as an impossibility. And then it leads us back to what's going on here. What does that say about the human experience? Even if you're giving me information on what I can use, so you're giving me a life lesson, a moral lesson, right? Okay, machine just did that. Now what?
So let's look at it from there's a movie and television point of view. Okay, that's a visual art which is in a box or on a screen, right? What about a live visual arts point of view where you're looking at music, you're looking at something like you do stand-up comedy. So referencing back to the George Carlin thing, that happened. The AI George Carlin thing happened, and then his family got pissed off about it. But that was all for generation on a screen. But I think what's happening now is people are seeing this AI and seeing algorithms and seeing stuff, and they're seeing how everybody is basically controlled into thinking in a certain way. An algorithm figures out what you're into, and then it starts kind of fueling the fire that way, making sure that it burns in that direction. I think people now are getting pissed off about algorithms and AI because they want a shared human experience. Like when you think about it, you go to the Improv on Melrose or you go to the Comedy Cellar in New York or something like that, and all those chairs are all just fucking jammed together and everybody's shoulder to shoulder and you're all sharing in that experience of the person with the art on the stage. Same thing with music. Everybody's, slamming into each other. But that is when people come collectively together instead of having an algorithm that separates us all and takes us in our own direction.
I agree with you, but also you and I are of a certain age. And young people who grow up with the opposite don't seem to be missing that as much. And I don't know if it's good for them. I don't think it is. But
No, it's not. I mean, that's the social media that's fucking everybody up, right?
look, with AI, I have now all the information, right? I have all the information and I have all the knowledge. Does that get me closer to the truth? I don't think it does. I don't know that, part of what makes me feel deeply is when I see a story, when I like planes, trains, and automobiles, and it just fills me with this feeling I've never shaken, right? It becomes part of it's a memory that becomes part of your entire emotional, maybe even spiritual makeup. I mean, it's a lesson that you think back on and you think to yourself, well, I don't have this, but maybe whatever it is. I think if movies can do that without human involvement, it'll find an audience. I'm sorry to say that in some ways. I'm sorry to say that because I don't know where we go from there, right? I don't know. Part of what we want to do when we see a movie is it helps us learn how to navigate life, right? Like I want to be a great athlete or I want to be a good athlete and I want to win or I don't win and I have to figure out what to do with that disappointment. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel as human beings, we're probably going to mesh with machines in one way or another, metaphorically or even physically. We'll adjust. We'll use AI as a tool. It'll have its dark side. It'll have its liabilities. We'll be aware of that, just like we are with drugs, alcohol, just like we're doing now with social media. We know that X is a cesspool. I'm never on X. My daughter's never on X. My son's never on X. It's toxic. Okay, good. I know that scrolling is addictive and really bad for my brain and eyes. And I know that for my kids too. So there is a healthy distrust of AI, right? And, right now it doesn't do what a human being can do. It can mimic, it can copy, it can reformat. But we are going to get to a point where we're going to have to deal with this.
Reluctantly.
This podcast reluctantly sponsored by ThompsonMortgages.com. Did you know that 60% of Canadian mortgages come up for renewal in 2025 and 2026? Is yours one of them? This is a great reason why you should reach out to ThompsonMortgages.com. Don't just docu-sign that email that comes from your current lender. Reach out to ThompsonMortgages.com. Ask Mike or any one of the team members if you should be on a fixed rate, a variable rate. What kind of terms should you be looking at? These are great questions for anyone at ThompsonMortgages.com. And if you do reach out, please let them know that you heard about this on the Reluctantly podcast. When you walk around with your phone in your pocket, which pocket is it in?
Well, I have 4 kids, so it doesn't matter. Usually. Yeah. My front pocket, because the people, I'm a man of the people, and they want to see what I'm working with. They want to see how well I fill out these rag and bone jeans. And let me tell you something, bro. I'm an athlete, as you know, and I'm a power packed little guy, and I got a lot of fanny, which is one of the reasons people go, Brian, why do you jump so high? Why do you have such a spring in your step? And I go, have you seen my ass? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Terry.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Good, as long as you know what I'm saying, bro.
I know. So you put your big iPhone 17 Pro, big tablet sized
It's a
phone.
big boy. It's a big boy. Look at my wife. She put that on the screensaver. It's such a flattering picture.
That's delightful.
Yeah. Just right in my face. I'm like, Jesus.
So you put that in your front pocket so that it draws the eye. And then the eye is free to explore everything else
That's right.
in the region.
Whatever you want. Your hands are too. I'm a real slut. So
I was just thinking you were talking about working out, and I was laughing at it because we were talking about mall walkers on the show today. Are you going to do some mall walking? Or are you going to hit the gym while you're here? You're only here.
Terry, I'll do some deadlift. I'll do some pull-ups. And when I'm in Austin, what I like to do is go roll around a jiu-jitsu mat or do some boxing in what I call the old man fight club. And I'm in a group of Green Berets and ex-pro fighters over at Archetype Boxing, among which are the people like Tim Kennedy, who never got taken down in his 13-year MMA career. So how do you think that goes for me? How do you think that goes for me? Okay. I get the shit kicked out. They're having conversations with each other while beating me up. So, yeah. So I usually have mat burns on my face because I can't not train because I may have to use it one day.
You're 57 years old or whatever you are, 58 years old, I suppose. You're coming up on your next birthday.
Keep your belly tight and your arms heavy, Terry.
Why are you still fighting? You shouldn't have to fight after you're 30 years old.
Because they're coming. All right. They're coming. Every day I don't train, they get stronger. Every day I don't train, they get stronger. All right.
Do you think there should be an MMA division with of plus 50 guys with like a sub 5'8" sort of thing? Like, is there a?
Okay, first of all, I'm not sub 5'8". I'm 5'11". I really resent that. I know you're very tall, but I am a legit 5'11" with my shoes off, and I've been measured. So I'm going to ask you, please, to take that back.
I'll edit it out.
I mean, for God's sake, man, have a little respect. I know that you're much taller. But no, there should not be an MMA division because it would be unsightly and rather unsafe. So, I take jujitsu and I wrestle and box just to teach my son. He's 14 and I'm friends with some people who really know what they're doing. So why not? Something to do. It's more of a hang, with the old guys. We do that, then we have sex, that kind of stuff. It's a fight sex club. We're not gay, but we do it. When we're doing it, we were frowning the whole time. So I think that's allowed. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Well, they had a camera and we were all rolling around on the mat, and they had a camera and one of the guy's faces was a black belt and competitive kickboxer, and said, "What do you do this for?" And he said, "Because I'm gay." And he just left it at that. He's this giant guy on top of this other guy holding him down, trying to choke him. Why do you do this though?
So the reason for the tap out is because ejaculating would be just
ejaculation is allowed, but it's rude. I get so mad. You better not ejaculate, at least not when you're looking me in the eye. The only rule I have in jiu-jitsu is the guy can't ejaculate while looking at me because it's too awkward.
Don't lock eyes and ejaculate.
That's right.
Reluctantly.
This podcast, reluctantly sponsored by Concept Clothing and Culture. CONXEPPT.com. Handcrafted suits, custom tuxedos, and tailored essentials. Suits starting at $1,188. Made to measure right here in downtown Edmonton. Concept, CONXEPPT.com. If you reach out to Dave or anyone at Concept.com, please let them know that you heard about them on the Reluctantly podcast. When's the last time you actually punched somebody in the face in anger, like aside from training?
A long time ago.
It was before you were 30, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
See, I told you, nobody should be fighting after they're 30 years old.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I'm also not a tough guy. I have a lot of fight stories. None of them are true. But I boxed, I've hit people in the face then. Even then, you can't be cracking. It's really dangerous. So you're touching each other in the face and, but I got punched by a guy when I was sparring recently who was way better, and he didn't mean to, but I moved the wrong way because I have no business boxing, and I had a floater in my eye for like 2 weeks. I was like, "What am I doing?" I was so embarrassed. I didn't tell anybody. I was like, I can't say to people, "I got a floater in my eye because I boxed at 58." It's so embarrassing.
What are you gonna do if you've got auditions coming up and you've got a swollen orbital bone or something like
I'm
that?
gonna play it like a boxer, bro. What do I look like, a leftist?
Are there any boxing movies coming up that you're auditioning for?
No, but I still play him like a boxer.
What do you have coming up? Anything on the big screen, small screen, or
No, just, not really. I'm doing a lot of commercials. I write and produce a lot of commercials. I have
right?
a company that does that, a lot of funny commercials. But I'm doing a live show called Acting Off where I take a bunch of comics here in Austin, and we basically, I give them acting challenges, so it's been pretty fun, really fun. So I'll
Is
start putting those on YouTube pretty soon.
is that where what's his name? Dubas was impersonating you on
Probably, yeah. Probably that son of a bitch. Yes. Yes.
I kind of like the dynamic. It makes me think of what I'm doing right now on the show on the radio station because I just turned 61
Did
and
you really? You look great, dude.
yeah, oh thanks.
You got all your hair. You're a well-preserved man. Well, you have good genetics, right?
Yeah.
Do you
And then,
smoke?
I'll have a puff now and again, but I'm not full blown smoker.
Not a big drinker?
I was thinking about having a bourbon while we were doing this because it's late in the day for me, right?
Well, that's what a gentleman should do,
Yeah,
you know? A little bourbon.
yeah.
You've
Why
earned
not?
it.
Are you drinking at all or no?
I just it's not that I don't, I just don't have I lost my taste for it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It was just like it just got to me after a while. I was like, it doesn't make me feel that good. It depends on your makeup, you know? I used to be able to drink wine and feel great, and now but I'll have a bourbon here and there.
Well, plus you're in a different town every weekend, right? You get there, you're not traveling with your wife or anybody. You see, you don't know anybody, or maybe you,
Exactly. So I like a cigar here and there,
yeah,
but that's about
yeah.
it.
And no, I was going to say it reminds me of the dynamic with because your buddy on the podcast is a younger guy than you. Is it Off Limits that you're doing with him, or are you doing Off Limits is by yourself?
Yeah, Fighter and the Kid is with Brendan Schaub.
But I saw you sitting with another guy, and he was a
Oh,
younger
yeah,
guy.
that was Off Limits with my buddy Nick Collis, who's a very funny comic,
Nick
and
Callis, yeah,
yes, yeah,
right. But he's younger than you, and it made me think of Pete and me on my show because I just turned 40 or 61. He's like 42. So
How often do you think about your age a lot?
you know what? I'll tell you something. I have been thinking about my age a lot. Now, I thought about my age this morning because as we record this, I found out I read on the internet that that Geary guy who played Luke and Laura on General Hospital, they got married. Remember, what is his name? Anthony Geary or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
He died.
I know.
He's 78 years old. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, Luke and Laura, their wedding in 1981, which by the way was the year that Pete was born, my partner on the morning show.
Yeah,
So, I mean, he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I know. I
It
remember
ma-
it so well. I
yeah,
remember that was all the rage. Yeah.
I know. And Luke looked like a friggin' rock star. He looked like Peter Frampton. He still, up until the day he died, he kind of looked like Sting and Peter Frampton and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. How did he die? Do you know?
He was in Amsterdam. He had complications from surgery of I don't know what he was going in for, but there was complications
That
before.
bone lengthening thing. No, I don't know what he was doing. He wanted to be taller. He was trying to live the dream of being taller at 78.
The old Amsterdam bone lengthening surgery, huh?
It's always so dangerous, but so worth it.
But yeah, I mean, he's 78 years old, so that's 17 years away for me, right? And it's
Yep.
20 years away for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I look at it. My mom's in her 80s, my dad's in his 80s, so I'm thinking maybe luck will be on my side.
But none of us get out of this thing alive. So, I mean, what do you think? What do you are you? Is this it? Is this what you're going to be doing? What's retirement look like?
Retirement. I don't know. I'd like to be in Sicily or the Amalfi Coast or, Croatia, looking westward toward a setting sun, or, maybe just traveling every 3 months in a different place or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
How long would that get till that got boring as fuck, though?
well, there's always going to be a home base, right? You
Yeah.
always got to have a home base.
Yeah. Well, I do like the idea of Sicily or Croatia.
Yeah.
Looking off like this.
Mhm. Standing at the front of a boat with 1 foot up like Captain Morgan.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Actually, it's funny you were talking about India, because you lived there in one of the many places that you lived. As we record this, my son is in India right now.
Really?
He's touring. He's drumming for a Punjabi, hip hop pop artist.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, this is like his 5th or 6th time over there.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah.
And you have how many kids? 2, right?
2. My boy's a drummer. He's 28. My daughter's a high-end cocktail bartender. She's currently Canada's top bartender.
Really?
Yeah, works at the Kiefer Bar in Vancouver.
She's beautiful?
But absolutely, she's beautiful. She went through, it's called World Class by Diageo, the brand that owns all these
So cool.
different
That's so cool.
things, and she won top bartender in Canada, competed in globals, and came in
Damn.
top 15. So
Got some successful kids.
yeah, they're doing okay. And then the great thing is they're seeing the world. So what are your kids looking at? Are they barking up
I got
the
a
tree?
14-year-old who's basically me.
Mhm.
I'm raising myself, which is hilarious, and he's great. And he's just funny. He's just a misfit like me. He's just funny, man. It's like so interesting to see what genetics do. Of course, I don't like to put anything on him because I think your kids come through you, not from you. But boy, oh boy, like people are always like, Jesus, you guys have the same facial expression, same humor. Like it's just unbelievable. And I just, but my daughter is not like me, but she's 17 looking at colleges. And then I got my soon to be 4-year-old and soon to be 2-year-old. So go figure with that,
I surprised the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old happened because you keep your phone in your front pocket. It's supposed to
I
kill
know, but
you.
I pack such heat, dude. And my testosterone's so high. And I just, you know what I mean, dude? And we didn't even have sex. I just got in a hot tub and she got pregnant, dude.
And she made that face on your phone.
She made that face on my phone, dude, and I think I was reciting poetry and she got pregnant. So whatever.
It must be that swarthy Filipino spermatozoa that you're packing.
It probably is, mixed with some Sicilian and some Irish peasant stock. It's all good, man.
Have you been to Sicily? Considering your heritage, what was that like? It's one of the blue zones. I want to go there.
Well, Sardinia is one of the blue zones.
Oh, okay, Sardinia.
Not Sicily. Yeah.
Isn't it on the same island?
No, it is not.
Oh,
Sicily's at the bottom. So,
okay.
But they live a long time in Sicily for sure.
Yeah.
And then there is, you've been to Florence?
No, my wife's been to Italy, but I haven't been. I've only been to Scotland.
Okay, well, we need to fucking change that right quick, Terry.
Yeah, all right.
Now, you're a Scotsman probably, but we need to get ourselves to Florence, to Rome, not in the summer. And you got to see how the Italians live in November. It's pretty cool. It'll be cold, but you have to see the city. You have to see what those streets are like. It's just a different way of living.
What about the beginning of June?
No, because too many people. You won't get anywhere, man. It's just the crowds are just incessant. They're awful. You're on a bus. Don't do it.
Okay.
Can't go there in June. You can't.
Why do you think I'm Scottish? Because I'm pale?
Because you look like a better looking, what's his name? Mel Gibson in the movie. No, I would imagine you are Scottish.
No, I'm actually mostly Russian, Welsh, and English.
Really? Well, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Russian. Well, who's Russian?
My dad's side is all Russian.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you get your height from?
My dad's side. Well, my mom's so tall too. She's 5'10", or was 5'10". She's about
Well,
5.
you were a musician, but were you an athlete? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Hockey.
played hockey. I got run over by a car when I was 14, though. That's basically when I got into radio, 15.
Damn. Really?
Mhm.
How bad was it?
Ran over my leg, buggered up my knee. It's never been the same.
Really?
Yeah. 14, I was, that was the year I was trying out for the Creston Clippers junior double B hockey team in my hometown. I might have made it too, but, yeah.
Yeah. But that car had other plans for you.
The worst thing was it was a Volkswagen Bug.
So annoying.
Dave Pompeu and his Volkswagen Bug.
Dave
buddy-
Pompeu. Damn Dave.
Ran me over.
Pompeu and your stupid Bug.
It wasn't his fault. It was the guy I was walking with. He pushed me.
Ah, fuck, Dave.
It wasn't Dave.
He's like, Terry's big. He can handle this.
Yeah, no. I would have never gone past junior hockey anyway. I couldn't skate fast enough.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Pro sports is just a whole different level.
Yeah.
Just is, you know.
Aside from training in the ring, did you do any sports, or do you just look good in those Coach Mellor gym shorts?
I both. I look really good in the shorts, but I was a wrestler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Judo and wrestling. But I always did sports. I was fairly coordinated. You know, I can throw a ball, or I could, I can hit a golf ball. I can play baseball. That bullshit. I was never the last guy picked on the team. That's high school athlete.
Do you still golf?
A little bit with my dad. Are you a golfer?
Yeah, I love golf. That's when maybe we need to go to Europe to do some golfing or something like that.
Just come to Utah, dude. Come to Utah.
Utah? I thought you were in Texas. You're sending me to Utah?
Well, my dad's up there, so we can go up there and play at the club. He pays for everything.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea. What's the cutoff for that? Like, if you
start in the spring, and then play all the way till October.
No, I know. What's the cutoff for a son going in and his dad paying for it at the club? That's what I mean. What's the cutoff?
There's no cutoff, bro. You know what I mean?
You're going to be 60 in a couple of years. You can't still be on dad.
Papa, I haven't any cash. Papa, I have alimony. Please pay. What did I say? I can't believe I'm going to be 60. 58.
What do you think about the age? Do you ever think about it?
I do, actually. I think about it but not often, maybe every 10 minutes. I think about, I think about the thing about as you get older is you're not as ambitious. You're not as crazed. You look back and you think, well, maybe I could have been more successful or done something different. But I actually don't even do that anymore. I just keep moving forward and keep trying to do my best and hope to stay somewhat relevant so I can continue to make a living. But I love spending time with the kids. I'd like to make enough money in the next 5 years to just stop everything.
Mm-hmm.
Might do that.
How many times a day do you do the math when you're looking at your 2-year-old and 4-year-old saying, when you're 10, I'm going to be, and when you're 15, I'm going to be,
it's crazy. Well, the good news is when they're 20, I'll be 78. 78.
Yeah.
I'm going to get plastic surgery. I'm going to look so good. You're telling me I'm not good looking? Hold on. That's hot. I'll get my mouth full. And then I'm going to get some serious steroids, and I'm going to be jacked out of my mind. And my wife will be 55, which is way too old for me. So I'll have to divorce her and marry a third wife.
So when you're 78, she'll be 55.
Yeah, and I can't have that. So I'll have to find somebody from Colombia or something.
So she's just in her mid-30s now.
She's in her mid-30s.
Wow, if I had a bell, I would ding it.
I know. I have no business being with her.
Are you at the point now when you take your promo shots? Are they all taken when you're lying on a bed so that your face does fall up?
Obviously, Terry. Obviously. No, I have someone pull the skin in the back of my head back. I pull my face back in what's called a ponytail, and I then basically take all my shots that way. If you must know, I shoot it on a very heavy filter.
I have 3 of these at the back of my neck.
They're so painful, but it's worth it, bro.
It really tightens things up, especially here and up here.
Yeah. Have you done anything like that? I've done no Botox. I've done none of that shit. I have friends that do that Botox shit. I just can't bring myself to do it.
No. Do you have any friends on Ozempic? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Is it working, or is it?
It's worked for everybody. I guess it really does work. It works for addicts too. Cuts down that craving sensation.
Right.
So,
but does it bugger up their muscle mass?
Yeah, if they don't lift and they don't keep track of their diet, yeah, they get too skinny.
Well, I was going to ask you what's going on with the podcast now? Fighter and the Kid, no,
going strong.
But are you still on it, or?
Yeah, we're having a bit of a resurgence on Fighter and the Kid. It's been great.
And is that all MMA stuff, or is it just?
No, it's just a comedy podcast. So it's Fighter and the Kid, and then Off Limits is now me with a bunch of young comics from Austin. It's been good.
Okay.
And the reason I called it Off Limits, Terry, is because the conversations we have are off limits. You know what I'm saying?
I'm putting the pieces together. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm single entendre guy. Hi, my friend. It's great to see your face.
Yeah, you too. I appreciate you doing this, and maybe ease up on the ring and start. Maybe we should start a pickleball league.
Hey, dude, I'm a natural warrior, okay? And I would show you what I'm working with under this sweatshirt, but you haven't earned it, okay? You haven't earned it.
All right. Full contact pickleball, then.
Now you're talking. And I just got a boner, okay?
No ejaculation.
No, there's not going to be. No, I play with a boner, but there's no ejaculation. Not when I'm looking in your face, at least.
All the best dinking your donks.
You're the best, buddy. I appreciate you.
Reluctantly.
This podcast reluctantly sponsored by ThompsonMortgages.com. It costs you nothing to make a phone call to see if you can get a better rate, a better term, and better service for your mortgage. Also, Concept.com. Concept Clothing and Culture. CONXEPPT.com. Look your best.
Reluctantly.